What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into today's video, this video is once again sponsored by the good guys at Black Wolf. You can check them out at blackwolfnation.com. They did sponsor this video, but they just sent me this stuff to show off to you guys. I don't make any money if you buy anything from them. It's just a sponsored video, and they sent me some cool stuff to show off. So they did send me this little box over. We've got a bottle of face wash, 5 fluid ounces, and I did get asked when I went to see if they would sponsor the video and everything, that apparently they have stuff for oily and dry skin, and this company, I'm pretty sure it's just a guy thing, where they have shower stuff like shampoo, conditioner, body wash, face wash, stuff like that. They make all of this stuff, and it's just for guys. So it's something really cool that I found interesting. That's why I reached out to them to see if they would be interested in sponsoring the video. So they did send just a couple of things out, and they do offer this like little kit that you can get from them that has like one of everything in it, which is pretty cool, and it seems all reasonably priced to get what you get. It smells really good. It tells you how to use it, which is like any other face wash, but it doesn't tell you what's in it or what the scent is, but I don't know how to describe it. It smells really, really good though. I wish I could just dab it on here a little bit so you could smell, but you know, it's 2020. Why has nobody figured this out yet, that I should be able to like spray something into this and you be able to like push a button on your screen on YouTube and it just like, phew. Why has nobody figured that out yet? I don't know. All right, this is just a card with the different stuff, and this is actually the different stuff they offer. I'm not going to go into too much of it, but this does tell you what all is actually in the stuff. So be sure to check these guys out and see what all they have to offer and everything. You can check them out at blackwolfnation.com, I believe, is their website. And they send all this stuff, and see, I had already opened this, but it's like a resealable bag too. But it's completely sealed up and then wrapped in plastic. So I've gotten stuff kind of like this from companies before that busted in the package on the way over, so that's a little irritating when that happens, but you kind of don't really have to worry about that with these guys, because it looks like they do a very, very well, very, very good job of packaging up this stuff. So much so that it takes me a while to open it. And then we've got body wash. This is 10 fluid ounces. Is it close? It smells really good too. And I think it's the same smell. I'm kind of weird about that. If you have different stuff like this, like shampoo and body wash and or face wash, I would like it all to smell the same. You know, a lot of times you can't find that at the store, and when you order stuff like this online, a lot of time you don't really have a choice option. They just have shampoo and they have body wash, and it's like different scents, stuff like that. Not all the time, sometimes. I'm pretty sure it's the same exact thing. If it's not the same thing, it's ridiculously close to the same scent. So that's a plus for me. I really like having the same smell everywhere. So be sure to check these guys out at blackwolfnation.com. They did send the face wash and the body wash over for me to check out. Be sure to check them out. As I said, they did sponsor this video, but just by sending me this stuff to show you guys, it doesn't matter if you buy anything from them. I don't get anything out of it. So be sure to check them out on the website, and that is all from Black Wolf, and now we can actually get back into this video. Enjoy. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing another upgrade video with LEDs, and it's not actually on the Silverado this time. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I did get a 2020 Chevrolet Silverado. I've been doing a bunch of different stuff to it. I think I've got, at the time of filming this, like 5 or so videos on it. And if you're interested in any of that, be sure to check out those videos. Today, however, I have done a couple of videos featuring LED bulbs. This is going to be an exclusive LED bulb type video. It's not sponsored by anybody. I bought all of these with my own money. Nobody sent me any. But like I said, it's not going to be on the Silverado. I actually have a 2017 Chevrolet Traverse that since I went all out in the Silverado, if you don't know the 2020 Silverado, they put a lot of LED lighting in that truck. But for some weird reason, they didn't do all of the bulbs LED, just some of them. So everything that was for brightness or that blinked to get somebody's attention that wasn't LED, I went ahead and made all of those LED in that truck. So since I've done all of that, I am doing that now to my Traverse, which is my wife's car. So we're going to go over what all I'm changing over to LED and why, what's going to actually be in this video. I am going to be doing probably 1 or 2 other LED projects on the Traverse that won't technically be in this video. We'll talk about those because I'm not 100% sure on if I'm actually going to do it or not, but the plan is to do them, but they're not actually going to be in this video. If I end up doing that, I will feature that in another video. So what we're going to do is just exclusively do LED bulbs. So I'm going to go over what I'm changing and why you should think about it. So let's go out to the car real quick and I'll point out which bulbs I'm changing over to LED, and then we'll come back in here and talk about why I'm actually doing that. If you don't want to hear me talk and you just want to see me do the LED bulb conversion, you can skip over to that. This is going to be a LED bulb video on installing LEDs, why you should think about doing it, and which bulbs you should think about doing. Which bulbs don't really matter, in my opinion anyway. So if you are just interested in LED bulbs, this is still a good video to watch because I'll be talking about what and why. But if you have this model Traverse, I am going to show how I got to the bulbs and changed them and everything. So if you've got this Traverse, this video will be a little bit more helpful to you. But just because you don't have this model Traverse or a Traverse period, it is a good video to watch because I am going to be talking about different bulbs, why I'm changing them and all that. So let's go check out the Traverse. I'll point out which bulbs I'm changing. We'll come back in here and talk about why. All right. So definite bulbs I'm changing right now that I'll be showing in this video is going to be the turn signal, both of them up front. So anything that blinks, I want to change over to LED, and anything that's for brightness, I want to change over to LED. Speaking of that, these are the regular, I think it's a regular halogen headlight bulb. That is one thing that I was referring to earlier that I'm probably going to change over to LED, but I'm not 100% sure yet, so obviously it won't be in this video. But what we are doing in this video, I am going to change both the front turn signals because they blink. Then in the back, also the turn signals, both of those, and the backup lights, changing both of those. So the turn signals, they blink. That's why I want to change those over to LED. I'll show in a minute, but halogen bulbs kind of like fade on and off like this, and LEDs are just like really, really bright, really fast. They don't like fade out and fade back in like halogen bulbs do. And then the backup lights are for brightness, so I want to replace those with LEDs. I probably will replace the license plate bulbs. I don't know if it will actually be featured in this video, but I am probably going to do that. And then the other ones that I'm going to be replacing are all of the dome lights in here. They're regular halogen bulbs, and since my truck over there, since having that, all of the dome lights in there are LED, and it's like super bright in the cab. And being in that at night and seeing all that, and then you hop in here and see this crap, I want to change these over to LED. So if it's like real dark outside, these come on. It's not as bright as the truck, and it's just like real yellow, as you can see here. So I'm going to change all of these over to LED. It's these two, those two in the back, and then you have two back there. I'm going to replace those also. So that is all of the bulbs that we'll be replacing today. Like I said, the headlights, they definitely won't be in this video because I'm not 100% sure if I'm doing those. The license plate bulbs, I am going to convert those to LEDs. I don't actually have them here with me, so I am definitely doing that, but I don't know if I'll actually feature that in this video. That might get put into another video. But I do have the other bulbs for what I've been talking about. These are the same LED bulbs for the backup lights that I put in the truck. Luckily, it is the same bulb in the Traverse, and when I got those, I had 4, so I didn't even have to buy those. So I've got 2 of those for the backup lights. And then these are the bulbs for the turn signals, the front and rear in the 2017. I don't know what years exactly the bulbs are going to be the same, because I know in, I'm pretty sure I saw online that some models of this Traverse that was the same exact model but a different year, some of them have all of these bulbs, but some didn't. I don't know. Golly. Can't remember which years, so the best thing to do is what I did and what I always use is, if you want to do this, go to the bulbs that you want to replace and go ahead and pull one out and figure out what bulb it is. Don't even waste the time in looking online, because a lot of them are different. And then these are the little bulbs. I think I got a pack of 10. So I'll need 8, so I'll have 2 extras of these. These are going to be for all of the interior lighting, and the one that I got actually came with this little screwdriver type thing to be able to like get up in there and pop the bulb out, and then be able to push these back in. So yeah, that is all the bulbs. So we're going to start off first on the front turn signal, and then go to the rear turn signal, then the backup lights, and then we're going to do all of the interior lighting. Yeah, I've already talked about this. I'm replacing these LEDs. Anything, and in my opinion, it's just my opinion, there's some bulbs in the Silverado that I didn't change to LED, and I'm not going to. There's a couple of real small bulbs on the rear and the front that come on when you're either in drive. And in the front, there's a real small amber bulb on the sides that are on when the truck is in drive. And then when you're driving and it's dark and the lights come on, there's a small bulb in the tail light that I didn't replace that either, because it doesn't blink and it's not for brightness. It's just there to give kind of a cool glow kind of look. So I didn't waste the money or time in replacing those. The only thing I'm replacing is something that blinks to make sure nobody misses it. Like if my signal's on or anything, or the if I'm stopped, the blinking lights, the name's evading me right now, but anything that blinks, you need somebody to see it, so I want to go ahead and replace those with LEDs. And anything that's brightness, specifically in this case, is going to be the backup lights. I want those to be plenty bright, and the dome lights, I want to make that really bright and clear and not yellow. And good gosh, freaking fly. And the license plate lights, I usually replace those because that is for brightness technically. We may or may not do that in that video. So headlights are the next thing that are for brightness. I'm probably going to do that, but it's not going to be in this video. So if it if I have done that, if you're looking at this video way later than I actually made it, if I have done the headlights on the Traverse, I will try to remember to put the card thing up here so you can check it out. This fly is unbelievable. Or it will be in the description if I've done it. If it's not there, I haven't done it yet. So let's go ahead and change some of these bulbs. All right, so first up, we're going to be replacing these, and I'm going to replace one and then install it and then turn my blinkers on so you can see the difference between a LED bulb and a halogen bulb. So to get to this, if you've got this Traverse, you're going to need a Torx bit. I think it's a T10. So you've got two down here, this one and that one right there. You can take those out, and you can take this thing and pull it out and stick your hand up in there. The pigtail socket that the bulb actually goes in, you're going to turn it counterclockwise and it should come out. And this is the regular halogen bulb. If you're wondering, this and the rear are the 7440s. So let's put the LED in. And then this is the LED we're putting in here. I am doing this with one hand. Just kind of try and grab a hold to the bulb socket and then kind of push the bulb in with your other fingers. You could take this whole entire wheel off and it'd make it a little bit easier, but I'm hard-headed and didn't do that. So, geez, these flies are attacking me. All right, so we got that bulb installed. Now let's turn the blinkers on and be able to see the difference between the LED and the halogen bulb. Come on, Key. All right, let's put blinkers on. Alright, so you can tell that's just doesn't look that brighter here. I'll try and do a video clip of this at night. It is a little bit brighter, but this one is just like, I mean, it doesn't like fade in and out at all. It's just on and off, whereas you can see this halogen bulb, it fades in and out. So LED halogen bulb. So we're going to go ahead and replace this bulb and then move to the back. All right, so next bulb is this one here. This is the rear turn signal. And what we're gonna do is open this. Pop these two little plugs out, and there's a screw here, and we're gonna take this thing out, take the bulb out, and replace it. All right, so when you take these two screws out, if you need to know, you'll need a 7mm socket to take those out. Once you get those two out, there's no clips or anything with this. It'll just come out. So now we're gonna take that bulb out right there and put the LED in. All right, so if you have this Traverse, this guy right here was on this. You lift that up and pull this out. It's going to be a whole lot easier to get to this bulb if you do that. So just wanted to put that out there. Go ahead and pull this out. I just used a flathead screwdriver to push this up, pull that out, and then I could turn this to get it out. You turn this counterclockwise, just like the front, and replace the bulb, put it back in. All right, so we replaced that one. Let's go ahead and start it up and turn the blinkers on. turn these guys on. Alright, that is the regular halogen bulb. That is the new LED. Alright, so let's get this other one replaced. Alright, so now we've finished all of the turn signals, the front and the rear. Now we're going to move on to the backup lights, and while we're there, we're going to start on some of the interior lighting because they are behind the same panel that you have to remove to get to the backup lights, so it's better just go ahead and knock it all out at once. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll talk about how you need to take the panel off. So if you're just here for the LED bulbs and how brighter they are than regular halogen bulbs, this isn't going to be that helpful, but I'm going to talk about how you take this panel off in a 2017 Traverse. Alright, so what we're doing now is these reverse lights. Now you have to open the hatch up. This panel back here, you're going to have to take off to get to it. Since we're taking this panel off, you have two interior bulbs here that I'm going to be replacing with all the other interior bulbs. So since we're here and we're taking this off, we're going to replace these two. So first off, with getting the reverse bulbs out, if you have this one, if you have another Traverse, I'm sure it's going to be kind of similar. You have two of these plugs, these plastic plugs that you just pop out with a flathead screwdriver. Then you have a handle. This is it, and you've got two bolts, screws in there, and that is also the 7mm, the same one that you used earlier. And once you get that taken off, these have some different clips that have these in there. You'll just grab hold of this and pull down and like work it back and forth, pop them out, you can pop them back in. Once you get this far, you don't really need to take any more off unless you want to. So now we can go ahead, that's the backup light, twist that, pull it out, replace the bulb, and we'll see how bright they are, and then we're going to move over to these interior lights. So I did get the bulb in there. The reason I did that is because I wasn't able to see it. I had to be behind the wheel and put it in reverse to make sure this worked. The reason I want to do that is because that was really tight getting in there, but it is the right bulb. Some of these connectors that bulbs go in, some can be a little weird and different than others. It'll go in easy some and then real hard to get in on others. That one was real hard to get in, so but I got it in and it did work. So now we're going to put the light back in there and lower this down and see the difference in the lighting.
Has it all. Go to SiriusXM.com for the schedule. My Sleep Number, the official sleep enrollment partner of the NFL. Meet the new Sleep Number 361 for proven quality SiriusXM.
Had to rig up a real weird stand here, so I hope you can see it. Alright, so I did go ahead and replace that one also. There you go. So both the backup lights are replaced. Now we're gonna replace these little guys. Just pop them out and put your new ones back in. Alright, so to get this bulb out, this is the regular halogen bulb in there. This is the LED one that's going in. All you need, you don't necessarily need this. This just came with the pack that I ordered. You take a flathead screwdriver and get up behind these and just kind of like pry them out. So here's what they look like. A whole lot brighter and a whole lot clearer, not so yellow. That's the two. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace this other bulb here, put this panel back on, And then we can move on to the other dome lights, which are these 6 right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these back together, and then we're gonna pop these panels off one at a time and get those bulbs replaced. All right, so got the backup lights fully installed and those 2 interior lights. Got the panel back on. That wasn't that bad. It's really, if you're planning on doing this, it's not that hard. It's just popping clips out. I mean, it can, if you haven't done it before, it can be kind of nerve-wracking, but it is fine. It's just a couple of screws and some clips you pop out. You can pop right back in. Don't worry about it. You can do it. So open this up. These are the regular dome lights. How dull and orange, yellow they are. Then you have those real bright white LED bulbs back there. So now we're gonna hit all of these, and I'm really excited to see how they turn out. So let's get that done. All right, so today is actually a different day than the last clip that you just saw, because obviously, because I'm clothed different and it's raining outside. So some things have changed. We were getting ready to go back to the interior lights, the dome lights in the ceiling. Before we get there, I said something earlier about license plate lights. I found out that these bulbs are for the dome lights, and I only need 8, and amazingly I got 10 in a pack, and on top of that, these are the same as the license plate bulbs. So I've already got the bulbs for the license plate, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to do license plate and then move inside. And before we get back to the dome lights, I was sitting in here. Whoops. Oh crap, I lost something. These lights in here, they're real yellow and ugly. So we are going, before we get back to those things, we're going to get the license plate bulbs changed out, and then we're going to do these. And all this is you get a screwdriver or something flat. Most of the time these things will just pop off. It's just a cover, and there's a bulb in there you can replace. I'm going to be in trouble if I don't find this. Oh, I feel something. Got it. Whew. The day is saved from the wife. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and change those out. So to get the license plate bulbs out, they also have just a cover most of the time. And we're going to use a flathead screwdriver and just get in on the side and just kind of pry it off, and it'll just pop out. That's most of the time that's the case with license plate bulbs. So we're going to go ahead and get these changed out and then move inside. All right, so it's hard to do this with the camera, but I just got the screwdriver up in there and just pried that out. And all right, this ain't a cover. This is actually a housing. So that thing will just twist most of the time when you're changing bulbs like this, and it's in the bulb connector there. When it's in a housing, you twist it out, and most of the time it's counterclockwise. So just hold on to this and take the back of that bulb and turn it counterclockwise, and it should come one out. And that was the case. Just turn counterclockwise and you just pull this bulb out and put your new LED in. So let's go ahead and get that done and put this back up in there and see the comparison between the LED and the regular halogen bulb. And granted, it doesn't really do it a whole lot of justice, because it's most of the time I'm doing these upgrades, it's light outside. But just like I did with my truck, did a whole bunch of LED changeovers on that. At the end of the video, I did show off how bright they were at night. So we are going to do that when I get all of these bulbs changed out on the Traverse. So hold your comments if you've made it this far. we will be showing how bright all the bulbs are at night. Just let's change them all first. So now let's get these bulbs changed over. And these are the bulb comparisons. So let's go ahead and get this guy installed and see the brightness difference. Alright, so I did get that one in there. For this one anyway, you put this end up in there, push it over this way, and then this end will just pop up in there. So real easy. So let's go ahead and turn the lights on. See the comparison. I think that'll work. It's not working. Alright, I gotta figure this out. I thought that was the right bulb, and it might not be. Okay. Alright, I got it to work. Really weird. I just took it out and put it 180 degrees, put it in the other way, and it worked. So for some reason, this guy works one way and not the other. Have no idea why, but I got it to work. So let's pop this one back in and see the difference. Alright, so that is the new LED. That's the regular halogen bulb. It's kind of hard to see with it daylight, but you can definitely see how it's more brighter over here than over here, and you can definitely tell this is a whole lot white and that's a whole lot yellow. So let's go ahead and I'll change this one over, and then we can move inside. Alright, since we've already got these changed out, we're going to go to the third row here. So gotta crawl up in here. Now this is kind of a pain in the butt, but you'll be able to do it. This thing goes up in here like this, and see you've got some tabs here and clips. What was that? Like a bug or something. That was weird. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get your fingers on the sides here, and you'll be able to pop this clip out. You'll feel it and hear it. Then go over to the other side, pop that out. And then you'll be able to pull this down a little bit and see these tabs, and take a flathead screwdriver, wherever mine went. Here it is. Just a flathead screwdriver, and you're going to stick it in there and just press down here, right there, and kind of have a little bit of pressure on it as you pull it. Push the screwdriver in and pop that clip. It'll come down a little bit, and then do the other side. Then you have these clips, so once you've gotten that far, you're going to pull it out this way, and it should come on out of there. So once you get to that point, you've got 3 Torx screws. You're going to have to take those out to be able to get to the bulb. So let's go ahead and take those out. All right, so I went ahead and took those 3 screws out, and you'll be able to take that off. And then you twist this around, and there's your bulbs. You'll probably have to take some kind of screwdriver and like stick up in there and pop those out. So let's go ahead and get those changed over. And since we've already seen the color difference in the lights on the lift gate over there, it's gonna be pretty much the same thing. And the second row one is identical to this. So I'm gonna go ahead and change these over, then change those over, and then we'll move on to checking out how to take that out and get the bulbs replaced in that. Then we're going to move to the sun visors. So I'm going to go ahead and change the bulbs in this, get that all back together, and then get to the front seat. All right, so quick tip before we move on from this, the back one, the third row seat. And like I said, the second row seat is going to be the same thing. I was having some trouble getting these bulbs out. You can see right there that it does have a plug in it that goes right here. I went ahead and popped that out. See if we can get this to sit still. Yep. So So I went ahead and pulled that off so I could take this completely out. The Torx wrench that you use to take those 3 screws out should be small enough to get behind here, and it's got a little hole right here, the back of the bulb, to be, and your Torx bit should fit. I say Torx bit. If you've got a regular wrench like this that's long, if you have a bit, it might not be bit might not be long enough. So if you have something like this, the Torx, you can fit in that hole and be able to push that bulb out. That makes it a whole lot easier to get out. And then I just pop these right in. I'm gonna plug it back up, turn the lights on and make sure they work, and then put this back together, put it back in the roof, and then move on to the second one, and then we're going to the front seat. All right, so I did get that back installed and wanted to show you before I moved on the difference. Let's see, both of them right there. See how bright those are. It's a little bit hard to be able to tell on the camera, but you can definitely tell in person, and you can definitely tell how clear they are and how yellow these bulbs are. So very happy with how these turned out. Oh, and while I was putting that other bulb in, before I put it all back together and installed it back, I came up here and turned the lights on to make sure they would come on, and only one bulb was working. So I pulled it out and turned it 180 degrees and put it back in, and I did cut the lights off before I did that because you know, sticking metal in an electrical socket of any kind is usually a bad idea. So I got out and cut the lights off, and then got the bulb out and turned it 180 degrees, put it back in, turned the lights back on, and it worked. So I don't know if all of these bulbs are going to be this way, but the bulbs that I got, for some reason, only work one way. You can put them in wrong, and if they're not working, you can just take them out and spin them and put them back in. Don't know if they're all like that. It sounds weird to me because I didn't even know that was a thing, but I did want to let you guys know that if you're doing something like this, before you take the time and reinstall everything, once you get the bulbs in, make sure they work before you spend the time and do all that. So now we're going to do the second row seat, and then we're going to go up to the front row seat. All right, so we are getting ready to take this one out. We've replaced all of the other dome lights in here. This one is a little bit bigger, but this is still going to come out the same way. You're going to get up in here and pop this out, and then you've got the clips in here to take a flathead screwdriver and press this out, and then you're going to take this and pull it this way, and it'll come down. So pretty much the same thing. So we're going to go ahead and get these replaced, and then we're going to move on to the sun visor lights. All right, so we went ahead and got this out. I just went ahead and popped the wire out, and you're still gonna have 3 of these same size Torx screws in here. We're gonna take that out and replace these 2 lights, plug it back up, and put it back in. All right, so we went ahead and got these replaced. I forgot, this is a little bit different than the other one, the other 2 in the ceiling here. These just have 4 clips, one here, one here, one here, one here. You're probably going to need to get a flathead in there like I did and kind of pull it down so you can get your fingers in there and pop that out, and pop the other 2 out, and then that thing will come on out, and then you can unplug it and get your bulbs replaced, plug it back in, and it just pops back in place. So turn these back on. That's the new LEDs in there. And all 8 of the dome light bulbs are changed. Now, the last thing we're going to do in this video is get both of these sun visor lights replaced. Both of those, we're just going to pop these lenses off and pop the bulbs out and put the new LEDs in. All right, so we're on to the last bulb we're doing, or bulbs, and we are replacing these. These usually are just covers, and I know this is just a cover, so we are going to use this plastic kind of flathead screwdriver thing. Anything like this, I would not prefer to use a real screwdriver. I wouldn't want to break it or crack it or anything, so something like this is going to be better to use. So we're just going to get up in here and pop this off, take the bulb out, and put the new one in. And if you're wondering, most of the time, if you're doing sun visor bulbs, they're like this. You can't really see this. Hold on. I lost my screwdriver. This kind of like fuse looking bulb. This is what they are most of the time. I can't find it. I gotta find my screwdriver, and then we're going to take these out. So let's do that. All right, so I know I just said not to use a flathead screwdriver, but that's the only way I was able to get it. The plastic one would not get in there and wasn't strong enough to pop that thing off, so I would prefer not to do this, but we've got to. All right, so we've already got this one off. Now we're going to pop this one off. What I did was go in from the top and pop it out, and then the bottom. Try not to go in through the sides. All right, so I wasn't really able to show, but I did get up in here and pop this out and then like work my way up the side with the screwdriver, and it went ahead and popped out. So now we can get these replaced. And the best way to do this is to take your screwdriver and get up in there, pop that out, and then you can take that out. Now we're going to take our new bulb and pop it in here, hopefully. So try and get it in position and press in there. Let's get one more. Now let's see if it works. One works. Why does one work and not the other one? You know, I wonder if these are like these bulbs. You know how they would only work when you put them in one way? Wonder if this is like that. Right, they are. So these are going to have to go in one way also. So be sure you try them before you put the covers back on and everything. All right, so just got these two covers back on. Let's check out the how they are different. I hate this thing. It's a little weird. All right, so that's the regular bulbs. There's the new bulbs. A whole lot better. Now we're gonna check all of these out at nighttime. All right, so it is nighttime, so let's check out some of these LED lights. And they are super bright. These headlights, you can't really tell in the camera, but they're getting changed to LEDs. That's going to be in a later video, but I did change these. Those are a whole lot brighter than they were. Let's go to the back. And I replaced the rear turn signals and the backup lights here. And they are ridiculously bright. And I can't even get it to focus on these, but turn signals got changed and backup lights got changed. They're so bright you can't even, won't even really focus on it. And I changed these. That's a whole lot brighter. Those were a real yellow looking, and the backup lights were kind of white like they are now, but these are 100 times brighter. And then on the inside, I mean, it is crazy bright in here. It's unbelievable how much brighter it is in here. And not yellow, just crystal clear. They are really bright. Alright, and last thing was these guys. And it's unbelievable how... Let's shut this and see how bright they are with these. If these lights go off, we can cut them off. There we go. Yeah, that is unbelievable how bright these things are. And I mean, you can see, can you see? I mean, you see how lit up this car is, and it's just these. That's how bright they are.